Tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Run and he's up there, so be it.
So be it.
You come bearing gifts.
I come bearing gifts. I mean, one of the things I disclose in this book that got me through is because I had to work on quieting my fearful, crazy, spinning mind, which is what we were all doing in COVID. So I taught myself how to knit. And I have some things this is one of my first.
You made that?
I made a sweater, a thing.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of The Tape. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on The Tape on this Thursday 17th. Yes, well I meant Thursday, November 17th. Get a little bit tongue-tied, but I'm here. Thank you all for watching. And can you believe it? Thanksgiving is next week. Next week is Thanksgiving. Like I said, we want you to be thankful and be glad you were here throughout this whole year. You have something to be thankful and blessed for. Alright, thank you all for watching this edition of The Tape on this Thursday, November 17th. Just 1 week away from Thanksgiving. But we're going to get started with this. The big story. Former President Donald Trump, he was talking about last week after that stunning defeat in the midterm elections that he was trying to help the Republicans gain control of both of the House and Senate and Congress. Well, the House is about to get a little bit help with the Republicans in control, but the Senate is still Democrat control. President Biden was marked on his referendum on his grade, if you want to say, on how he's doing as president. And it's kind of like he's passing, but he still got a lot of ways to go. All right, let's hear what former President Donald Trump had to say about this historic special announcement. Take a look.
That this was not the end. It was only the beginning of our fight to rescue the American dream. And it's a word you don't use, 2 words. I don't want to be Joe. It's 2 words, American dream. That was not good what he did. There are a lot of bad things, like going to Idaho and saying, welcome to the state of Florida. I really love it. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Donald Trump made the announcement that he's running for president in 2024 again. They're likely the rematch again between Trump or against Biden. We know Biden is the incumbent president. We know 2 years ago in 2020, Trump was the incumbent president and Biden was the challenger. Now, we flip things are different now as Biden is the incumbent president and Trump is the challenger. Trump wants to make sure he has this ace in the hole, but a lot of people are not certain that Trump might not be the guy. Take a look.
Tonight is Donald Trump.
The single biggest loser of the night last night was one Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
The big loser of the day was Donald Trump.
Donald Trump has made you the biggest loser.
No one should ever be rewarded for failure. If there's a truly conservative principle in life, it's the principle of the meritocracy. You reward excellence, you do not reward mediocrity.
A lot of these talking heads and political pundits trying to figure out if Trump is the guy if he's losing steam. Well, only time will tell on that and see if one thing about Donald Trump like this before he made his announcement right here.
Announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
That's the thing that people keep pushing back on. They don't want to go into a whole nother storm of hate.
I actually saw people trying to leave and people leaving early even before he was done. He's still speaking now.
We are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We call it the China virus. Some people call it other things.
He started with the China virus. He started with, poking names at DeSantis. And we've heard that, and people are tired of it.
Angela. Remember Angela? Do you remember Angela? Nobody's remembering her now.
I'm sure you're very supportive of your father-in-law, but those of us on the outside looking at it, it didn't seem as he got the old magic. You know what I mean?
We built the wall. We completed the wall. In the caravans. I love the name. I came up with it. I love the name. The caravans. A word that I refuse to say nuclear. I said, why didn't you raid Bush's place? Why didn't you raid Clinton?
They actually started preventing people from leaving.
I'm not going to use the term fake news media.
The New York Post said at the bottom of the page, Florida man makes announcement.
You have to fold it over so you can see it. It says, Florida man makes announcement, and then perhaps worst of all, see page 26.
Ivanka Trump yesterday says she's bowing out of politics just after her father's announcement.
Right. Look at how time flies. Look how fast it's all.
They were still talking about him. So it's just an endless game. It's a no-win situation. But Donald Trump, we'll see how he progresses. This is just, it was the wrong place at the wrong time, but Donald Trump doesn't care. He has the money to back and do so. All right, in celebrity news, we talk about this. The Grammy Awards is coming in February. Well, we know Beyonce leading the 2023 Grammys with 9 nominations, followed by Kendrick Lamar, Latto, and Gorilla. Yeah, they're receiving their first Grammy nominations. But someone else has been snubbed, and it was Nicki Minaj. She was snubbed for her album Super Freaky Girl. I guess nobody didn't care about Nicki Minaj enough. She tried to put all the time and patience into this album. She thought she was gonna get Grammy nominated. Even her fans are going crazy. I say this about Nicki Minaj: just keep on grinding until you find that Grammy nominated song. That's all I can say. Beyonce with Renaissance. Hey, it's a catchy beat song. She kind of knows how to evolve and progress, as well as her husband Jay-Z is following her as well. So congratulations to all the Grammy nominees and stuff. Speaking of that, Full House star Candace Cameron Bure is under fire. She made some comments about traditional marriage staying on the Great Family Network. We have the comments right here. Well, Candace Bure says that she's not going to put in same-sex marriage into her films. A lot of people she got called on fire for it. So Candace Cameron Bure, who was known as DJ getting heat from everybody about not including same-sex marriage into things. Ooh. But DJ got the back pedal right there. Alright, speaking of that, we know we're talking about 90s with Candace Cameron Bure, but also too, Christina Applegate gets emotional after receiving her Hollywood Walk of Fame speech. Take a look. Christina Applegate receiving the Hollywood Walk of Fame honor, and hey, Christina Applegate deserves it for all she done in the world of entertainment, especially with Married with Children when she was Kelly Bundy. Alright, on talk shows this week, former First Lady Michelle Obama went to the 4th Hour Today show, Holder and Jenna, to talk about her new book, The Light We Carry, and to showcase her new hobby. Take a look.
You come bearing gifts. I come bearing gifts. I mean, one of the things I disclose in this book that got me through is because I had to work on quieting my fearful, crazy, spinning mind, which is what we were all doing in COVID. So I taught myself how to knit. And I have some things this is one of my first.
You made that?
I made a sweater, a thing.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you make one for your husband?
This is Barack's sweater I did for him.
Wow. Has he worn it?
Yeah, he wore it once.
Does he still wear dad jeans?
No, he's sort of upped his style.
Do you tell him, like, those dad jeans don't look good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we want to play a little rapid fire game.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait, you have something for
I
us?
bought you each your own beginner knitting basket.
What?
So, this will entitle you to one free beginner's lesson.
Okay.
So,
You two, or with you?
well, we can sit down. We can have a little knitting
Let's do
circle.
it over Zoom.
I would love Zoom.
Thank you. If you think that either one of us is going to knit.
Oh, and by the way, y'all, just so you know, we're not the only ones going.
Michelle Obama now a knitter. I guess she's like the crochet now. She's been crocheting for a while, so Michelle Obama crocheting. But then the hostess asked Michelle about what her and President Obama's music choices are. Take a look.
A quick little game, okay? This is called Mrs. O's M.O. It's a rapid fire game.
Okay.
We ready?
Rapid.
What are you jamming to in the car right now?
Oh my gosh, all of Stevie, Beyonce, of course.
Yes.
I'm like deep into Stevie, fulfilling this first finale. That old album, I'm like rediscovering it.
Okay, best date you've ever been on with the president?
Our honeymoon, and we redid it for our 30th anniversary.
Which you just had. Congratulations.
30 years.
Lastly, who's the better dancer, you or President Obama?
Me.
Okay, just checking.
You know, that's easy.
All right, you guys can check out The Light We Carry at today.com/books or where.
Look, Michelle Obama like Stevie Wonder. She's agreed with Stevie. Yeah, everyone likes Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is a great natural treasure, if you ask me. But Michelle Obama didn't stop there. Even when she went on Good Morning America to talk about with Robin Robbins about her crocheting. Yeah, Michelle Obama likes to crochet, so she know how to make fits in this. Cause you have a former first lady to be your crochet, and one chance in a minute. Also, too, on Tamron Hall, she welcomes Fat Joe, rapper. He speaks on the recent losses of the young rappers in the hip-hop community. Take a look.
Last week, the funeral of Takeoff.
Wow.
Nipsey. Pop Smoke. These
You know, the difference
artists.
was our guys were getting killed, but 2, 3 years, 4 years apart.
Jamel Hill
thank
tweeted
God.
about that. She said when Tupac and Biggie died, there was a gap to process.
It was a big gap.
These kids have all lost their lives
Every
at
month.
the top of their career.
Every
Takeoff's
single
28.
Self-hate. And so we got to teach our kids self-love. And so we used to look at rappers as heroes.
Yeah.
If something happened back in the days, the people would jump in front of the rappers.
Yeah.
Now, because of social media, they starting to hate on the rappers.
Well, like Rap Joe said, it's self-hate. A lot of people are self-hating on folks for no apparent reason, and it shouldn't be like that. But social media makes it like that. And it's how it be. I'll tell you right now. All right, and finally, on Holy and Jenna, we went to forgot. We know Tia Mowry she went on the show. You know, she had a sister on there. The sister was talking about her recent divorce. Tia came on the show, and she talked about how she views her recent divorce in just this.
Not easy. It's a hard journey, but at the end of the day, I feel like it is so worth it. I knew when I really started to focus on my happiness. I feel like women, we tend to focus on everybody else's happiness, making sure that everybody else is okay. Meaning, you know, our children, our friends, our, family, but at the end of the day, it's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening.
She said her recent divorce was a success. She felt like her recent divorce was a college curriculum, a college course. And she went through the course, she was able to evolve, process, and create. And that's what she did. She created 2 wonderful children, which she did. And maybe sometimes marriage, you can be married for a long time, but then too, people look at longevity. But you can look at it like that, but some people just don't. Just married. You can be married for a minute and then not married. You know how that go. Okay. All right, we'll be back with more Take. Don't go anywhere. This is the Take on Connect TV. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Take. I'm your host as always, Kenny Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Take on this Thursday, November 17th, 2022. Yes, we are merely 1 week away from Thanksgiving. Everyone be eating the cranberry stuffings, you know how that go. Well, like I said, join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is king. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. As we continue on with the political rundown this week, Mike Pence sat down with ABC News to discuss and reflect about the January 6th attacks. Take a look.
Regrets about your own rhetoric. Just 2 days before January 6th, you were in Georgia, and you said, we all have our doubts about the election. Come this Wednesday, we'll have our day in Congress.
Come this Wednesday, we'll have our day in Congress. We'll hear the objection. We'll hear the evidence.
We'll hear the evidence. Were you feeding the false hope?
No, not in the least.
But do you regret the rhetoric when you look out the window and you see people, and you wrote in your book, these people had been told that the outcome of the election could be changed. You knew the rhetoric that was out there. Were you feeding into it?
No, David, not in the least.
But what was the evidence? What was the evidence you were talking about?
Was that we had a tremendous amount of not just disappointment, but public concern about irregularities in the election.
You write in the book about the Attorney General Bill Barr, December 1st, saying there was no widespread fraud that would have overturned this election. You write it in the book that you are aware that he said that. You agreed with him. You write about the 60 cases that did not go your way. Why are we still saying 2 days before January 6th to America and to your supporters, we'll have our day? In looking back, was there an opportunity there for you to take down the temperature?
Well, David, hindsight is always 20/20.
Then he was asked, would he be running for president in 2024 against his former boss, former President Donald Trump, who announced this week he's running. Take a look.
Will you run for president in 2024?
Well, we're giving it consideration in our House. Prayerful consideration.
Do you believe you can beat Donald Trump?
Well, that would be for others to say. And it'd be for us to decide whether or not we'd want to test that.
So if you decide to run and he's up there, so be it.
So be it.
Mike Pence, kind of a little bit somber. If I was him, I don't know. Many people felt like Trump wasn't really giving out his energy, like his old energy, like he normally would. Who knows? This might be an open field. They're saying DeSantis might want to join the fray. He might want to join the fray just to test the waters. But he's going to think about prayer for consideration. Like I said, Mike Pence. All right. All right, on news this week, former late night talk show host Jay Leno, yes, Jay Leno was hospitalized for severe facial burns after a car fire. Jay Leno was trying to crank up his car and the gasoline exploded on him. We wish Jay Leno a speedy recovery, but here's the story.
More tonight about Jay Leno after he was burned in a fire in his garage. His doctor now revealing that Leno was under one of his cars when the fire broke out and that he's already had one surgery and may need more. Here's ABC's Zoreen Shaw tonight.
Tonight, new details on Jay Leno's condition after that gasoline fire that started while he was working underneath a car. His doctor saying today he suffered a mixture of deep second-degree burns and possibly some third-degree burns to his face, hands, and chest.
There's no evidence of nerve damage. I do anticipate him making a full recovery. Whether there will be remnants of this injury, it's still way too early to tell.
The former late-night host, now host of Jay Leno's Garage,
this was built not to be a race car, but a road car,
is no stranger to working on cars. But in this case, one of his mechanics says Leno was working on one of his steam cars when gas was sprayed and then ignited Saturday afternoon. Leno has gone through one surgery, a surgical excision, and a grafting procedure across his face, hands, and chest, and will need at least one more later this week. But his doctor says Leno is considered to be in good condition, already passing out cookies to children in the burn unit.
He's Jay Leno. He's walking around and he's cracking jokes. It really...
It's Jay Leno. We wish him a speedy recovery. Jay Leno, a funny guy. He was a good comedian, but you know, a lot of the controversy with him and David Letterman about when NBC chose Leno over Letterman. It was just crazy. All right. And finally, the viral video of the week. We go to a PO father, a veteran, since it was Veterans Day last week. A father, when mom's not around, why not use his baby as a weapon? Take a look. The father used this baby as a weapon to shoot things, but hey, it is what it is. Wait a minute.
On my show, and I don't play on my show. I'm not gonna play with you, okay, and you're not gonna play with me. You're not gonna give me no problem. I'm not gonna have no problem with you.
Saw a man
I don't care who.
And talk about he has a show, but he's trying to
what you got going on. I'm not gonna have no problem with you, and you're not gonna give me no problem. When you come on my show, you better be real, okay? I am Dollar Bill, and I speak the truth, whether you like it or not. So you do you, I'm gonna do me. So let me tell you something. I am Dollar Bill.
All right,
Peace
y'all.
out.
Thank you all for watching this edition of the tape. We'll be back not next week. We'll be back in December for another edition of the tape. We'll be back that first week of December, that first Thursday, to talk about what's going on and stuff like that. So, for me being Kendrick Dix saying so long, you all have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time around for another edition of the tape. See you later.